Before we get started, make sure to turn on post notification and subscribe to the channel. 10 superstars rumored to win the Royal Rumble 2019. Number 10. Seth Rollins. This year, for the first time in many, there isn't a standout obvious candidate to win the men's Royal Rumble. But one name who has been rumored to get the win is Seth Rollins, who's coming off a fantastic 2018. Rollins had a very strong year in 2018, but spent the vast majority of it in the upper mid-card with the Intercontinental Championship. But there's no doubt he's ready to make the move back into the main event scene. Rollins has a history with Brock Lesnar, and the two men work incredibly well together in the ring. So having the King Slayer step up and win the Rumble, potentially as the Marathon Man from an early spot in the match, would continue to build his momentum. Number 9. Becky Lynch. While the men's Royal Rumble is unpredictable this year, the female match certainly has a firm favorite, and that's the man Becky Lynch. Heading into the pay-per-view, Lynch is the person everyone expects to see winning the Women's Rumble, and from a storyline perspective, it makes the most sense. The man still hasn't got her hands on Ronda Rousey, and that is the WrestleMania match that everyone wants to see, possibly as a main event. For that to happen, Lynch needs to get over to Raw, and winning the Rumble is the perfect way to make that happen. Winning the Rumble and then moving over to Raw to challenge Rousey for the title would continue WWE's hottest storyline, with Nia Jax making a perfect opponent for her in the pay-per-view prior to Mania. Number 8. AJ Styles. While AJ Styles might already be in the WWE Championship match against Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, that doesn't mean he can be in the Rumble match itself, as we often see superstars who have competed early in the night fill in the numbers. Having AJ Styles pop into the Rumble would add a major name to the show, and winning that match is one of the only accomplishments that Styles hasn't achieved in his career so far, which would yet be another major accolade for him. While he had plenty of shots at the WWE Championship, it would be a very interesting decision if WWE had Styles win and then jump to Raw, chasing after the Universal Championship for the first time. Number 7. Charlotte Flair. WWE has got plenty of options heading into the Royal Rumble, especially in the women's, with the feud between Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair causing plenty of intrigue with fans wondering how the company is going to play it out. Flair would head into the Rumble as a favorite, and it's tough to ever rule out the Queen, who has dominated the female division ever since she arrived, and there are plenty of ways WWE could go if Flair wins. A rematch against Rousey at WrestleMania is something people want to see, or possibly a triple threat with Lynch and Ronda. But WWE also has the option of giving fans a WrestleMania 33 rematch by putting her against Asuka once again, in what would be another major match on the card. Number 6. Drew McIntyre. Ever since he returned to WWE, Drew McIntyre has been dominant, and it's clear that WWE management has high hopes for him, who has barely been defeated since being put on Monday Night Raw. Despite how strongly he has been booked, McIntyre is yet to get the major break into the Universal Championship scene. But that could all change at WrestleMania, which would be the biggest stage for WWE to put its chips behind McIntyre. Whether it's Lesnar or Strowman, McIntyre can stand toe-to-toe with either man and appear just as dominant and strong, which would offer a physical, brutal match and allow McIntyre to finally break into the main event scene. Number 5. Alexa Bliss. Much like Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss had never competed in the Royal Rumble match after being a champion during last year's event. And if WWE wants to really pull off a surprise, then having Bliss win the match would do just that. Surprise returns are key to a good Royal Rumble match, and having Bliss make her in-ring return during that match would certainly be a big surprise to have. As a former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, she certainly has the credentials to win a Rumble and have a title match at WrestleMania. Bliss has been out of action since before Evolution, and if she's clear for a return, WWE will want her during the road to WrestleMania, so what better way to bring her back to the top than with a Royal Rumble victory. Number 4. Finn Balor. Finn Balor hasn't been at the top of the card ever since his shoulder injury that saw him vacate the Universal Championship, but in recent months, the Demon has been booked incredibly strong, picking up victory after victory. There is a reason for that, and that's because he's set for a big push in the near future. It has been reported that WWE has big plans for him, and a Royal Rumble victory would set him off on that journey. Having the Demon return at WrestleMania and being the man to slay Brock Lesnar would be a great way to get Balor back to his very best. And with All Elite Wrestling now in the shadows, WWE would be smart to keep someone like Balor happy. Number 3. Ruby Riot. It would be a major surprise to see Ruby Riot win the Royal Rumble, but sometimes a shock victory is a good thing, and Riot certainly has all the talent to carry herself in a women's title feud around WrestleMania season. While it's unlikely she'll be going one-on-one with Ronda Rousey on the grandest stage of them all, there's no reason why she couldn't take on Asuka on the SmackDown side of things, moving the Riot squad over to the blue brand. Riot has been putting in fantastic performances during every chance she has been given, and seeing her get rewarded for those efforts would be a positive move, even if it would be a surprise. Number 2. The Miz. The Miz might not be the most exciting choice to win the Royal Rumble, but there's no doubt that he deserves a major push like this after years of excellent service, especially recently, where he has become one of the top superstars on a consistent basis. With Daniel Bryan likely to head into WrestleMania 35 as WWE Champion, you couldn't find a more perfect opponent for him than The Miz, continuing their epic storyline with a new twist, with Bryan as a heel and The Miz as a babyface. WWE has been smartly booking The Miz as a more comedic babyface, and that could have been done to prepare him for a fully fledged babyface turn and a major WrestleMania feud with Bryan. Number 1. Shayna Baszler. It might be the unlikeliest of options, but that doesn't mean it can't happen, as having Shayna Baszler pick up the Royal Rumble victory on a main roster debut would be an incredible way for the Queen of Spades to introduce herself. With NXT TakeOver happening the night before, should Baszler drop her title, there's a good chance that she could be next in line for a call-up on the main roster, and doing so within the Royal Rumble would ensure the debut happens in front of a big crowd. Baszler could be someone who WWE books as a genuine threat to Ronda Rousey, given her MMA background, and with Baszler being a fantastic heel, she could really push Ronda in a physical matchup.